Amazing, amazing. Thanks so much for joining me for today's workshop. It's on optimal launch time, and today we're really going to combine and step you through what's involved in a launch, how to keep your launch specifically easy and lazy and fun, whilst also optimizing your mindset, as this is what's going to get you those amazing results. So thanks so much for everyone for joining me. I am so excited to be here. I absolutely love running these things now and giving you all my wisdom. So thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Amazing. And as we go through, feel free to pop any questions or comments in the chat group. That really allows me to know that what I'm saying is resonating, or any of your aha moments. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So a little bit about me. I've got a husband, Jim, a daughter, Nola, and a dog, Lacey. And my husband works for the National Park, so he's been doing a lot of firefighting as of late, which means my life has been crazy. I live in Anna Bay and like long walks on the beach. I'm loud, super fun, and a wee bit rebellious. In fact, one of the things that I have struggled most with in my business is that consistency. But I'm nailing it. It's all a practice, right? I'm a mindset coach, a clinical hypnotherapist, and master NLP practitioner, an EFT practitioner, and I've got a double degree in business and arts psychology. How did I get here? Well, it really did start when my daughter was born. Just over 3 years ago, I experienced severe postnatal depression. I went and saw all the mainstream people, and they really helped get me out of crisis mode. But it wasn't until I saw a hypnotherapist that I really started to understand the power of the mind. And now I am totally obsessed with it. The power of the mind in business specifically, and how your mind can actually make your life easier in business. I have always believed that you can do anything you set your mind to. I just now have the processes to back this up, which is super, super cool. So a little bit about you. You may be getting ready for your next launch of a course, membership, VIP packages, webinar, challenge, low ticket item. I've got a lot of people in my audience who are just starting their business, but I've also got a lot of people in my audience who are well versed at launching. Doesn't really matter where you're at. In fact, it doesn't matter at all where you're at. I'm going to step you through what a launch looks like, a really simple and easy launch plan, and then how to get the most out of your launches via your mindset. So a little bit more about you. You might be feeling like people won't buy your thing at the price you have decided on. You might be afraid to promise big outcomes. You may be afraid of burnout. You may be frustrated by your inability to follow through with that launch plan. And I've got a little hashtag. I can't actually remember it. It's like 3 days left, or you leave basically 3 days before your launch ends. And actually, when your launch ends, that's the time when most people are likely to buy from you. So we want to keep you in the room all the way until that cart close, so that you can really leverage your launch and get the results from your launch. So you may also be frustrated that your results don't match your level of effort. Business may be feeling really hard, and you are definitely wanting to go next level in your business. So a little bit about today. It looks like a lot, but I promise I'm going to make it really simple and easy. We're going to go through what launching is, launch goals, how to set them, my mindset formula for launching. We're going to talk through an easy and simple launch plan. We're going to talk through my easy launch remedies, accountability, time to create a plan. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the magic edge that you can give yourself, some case studies, questions, and how you can work with me if you'd like to work with me further. So firstly, what is launching? everybody in business launches. I remember sitting there for ages being like, what are people talking about when they're talking about launches? So when you first open the doors of your business, you're launching your business. When you put up your Facebook page or your Facebook group, you're launching. And you're launching when you run webinars, challenges, sell a low ticket offer, or you launch your course, membership, VIP packages. So this basically covers, I'm covering everything today. The more advanced launches that we work on, they have a beginning and an end cut close date. They're normally between 3 and 10 weeks long for a launch period. And there's normally 2 lead magnets, so 2 freebies. For example, the launch that I'm currently running is a webinar and then a challenge. And normally there's incentives along the way to buy by a specific date, including early bird rates. So you might have your early bird close after your first lead magnet, and then payment plans. So you might have a payment plan available if people book in after your second lead magnet. So that's just breaking down what is launching. So launch goals. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to get really super clear on what you want your launch to look like. Without a target, we are like a deer in the headlights. We don't know where we're going. So the very first thing, and even if you want to change it later, the very first thing I want you to do is, if I needed to decide today, what is your income goal for this particular launch? Knowing that you can change it later if you like to. So just sit down and write, what is your income goal for this particular launch? A really common question that I get for this is, should it be a monthly goal or should it be a launch goal? And the answer is you can do whatever you like. So normally I have a launch goal and a monthly goal. So I might have a launch goal of $30,000 and then I'm bringing that in over 2 months. So I'm having a monthly goal of $15,000 per month, or I might even be bringing in that income over 8 months of payment plans. So then you can split it up over the months. It's completely up to you. So then I just want you to close your eyes if it's safe to do so, and just take a moment and ask yourself, how do you want to be feeling, thinking, and behaving in this launch? How do you want to be feeling, thinking, and behaving in this launch? It's almost like you've got a little bridge and you're allowing yourself to dream how you want to be feeling, thinking, and behaving in this launch. And then just go ahead and write that down. So the next stage is, this is my mindset formula for launching. You basically need a clear and connected vision, but you need to feel super connected with it and calm with it. You need an easy and simple launch plan, which is really easy to follow. Then you do daily mindset activities to keep you on track, and you have some sort of accountability system to help you. And basically, if you put all of these things in place, or half of these things in place, you are definitely going to significantly increase your income for your next launch. So what does an easy and simple launch plan look like? Well, we tend to overcomplicate our launch plans. So smart launching isn't about doing all of the things. We tend to overcomplicate our launch plans because of mindset issues. So we may have that fear of not being good enough, that we're not enough, that your launch is not enough, that your product or your service is not enough. Or you may even have different limiting beliefs, that it needs to be hard, people won't pay that much, whole bunch of different things. So the first thing I want you to think about is, how can you park virtually everything else that is going on for you? And I say this, like everything I say, I want you to take it lightly. But what we need to do in a launch is we need all of your beautiful energy, because your energy is going to be allowing you to do the actions, but also it's going to be allowing you to step into that beautiful energy that will be magnetic to your clients. So how can you park virtually everything else that is going on for you? You obviously don't need to park everything, but I just want you to review your to-do list through that lens of what is it that I don't need to do right now. Because the more space you create for your launch, the better the energy that you'll bring to your launch and the more money you'll make. So then you need to decide on your pricing, including any early bird and payment plan options. Some strategists get like really technical with this, and I know Tash Corbin's really good at pricing, and there's a whole bunch of different people. That's not really my thing, but these are the elements that you sort of need to tick off. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. How have you got most of your clients in the past? So I just want you to take a couple of minutes, seconds, moments, and really write down, how have you got most of your clients in the past? And this will help you tap into what is working already in your business. And then from that place, you can choose your strategies that you're going to include in your launch plan and prioritize these strategies that have worked for you in the past. So I've just written down a bunch of strategies that you could choose from. The ones that are slightly more in bold are the ones that I do up the top, but you can obviously use as many or as few as you would like. And then once you've chosen those strategies, do as much prep as you can before your launch, because that will then allow you to spend time doing the things that you love so that you can bring a really beautiful energy to your launch. So the strategies that I've got are weekly newsletters, 2 Facebook Lives a week, written or video blogs, post in Facebook groups, posting promos on your Facebook page, free webinar, free challenge, your own Facebook group, content marketing, Instagram, Pinterest, podcast, networking, Facebook advertising, Google AdWords. And like, that seems like a really long list. That's why I only do half of them. And actually some of the strategies in my list are like pretty small strategies, so they don't feel overwhelming. And so the key really is, like, somebody once told me when I first started my business, you don't need to do all of the things. Pick your things and then practice them and do them really well, and that will help you build a business rather than feeling like you need to do all of the things. So pick a couple of the things, pick the things that work for you. And then I just wanted to show you what a very, very simple launch plan can look like, because this is something that I always wanted to see. What does it actually look like? So in week 1, this is basically what I'm doing over my 8-week launch. And I've got a webinar in week 4 and then a challenge in week 7. So basically in week 1, or before the launch, we want to be creating the webinar sign up page, the email sequences, the webinar slides, and the promo copy. And then in week 5, we'll be setting up the challenge. So doing all the same for the challenge. And then steps 2 to 7 are just the strategies that you have decided upon, and you do them each week. So that is all you need for a simple and easy launch plan. And if you'd like a copy of this, feel free to email me at info@antheacutler.com. I would love to give it to you. That's no problems at all. But I just wanted you to see how simple it could look, and remind those people who are more advanced at launching how simple your launch plan needs to look, because sometimes they can get way overcomplicated. So now we're going to go through some of my launch remedies, and they're under 5 minutes each, and they're super powerful, and they totally help you to stay in the room. So the first one we're going to go through is priming your day. This is my own technique that I have developed. Most people want to feel a different way about their business and their launches. They tell me, I would love it if I could feel like my business was easier, like I was having more fun, like I felt like I was calmer, like I felt like I was more confident, right? And they're waiting for their business to make them feel that way. But here's the thing, you can actually learn how to release those emotions and pick how you want to feel and step into that particular emotion. So you can actually change your emotions just like that. And this is what I teach people how to do. You're in a bad mood, you're in a good mood. I teach people how to regulate their emotions and step into that really resourceful state whilst they're in launch mode. And the results are absolutely phenomenal. So doing this allows you to have that level of control and resourcefulness. So I'm just going to take you through an exercise now. If it is safe to do so, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. You can still play along if you can't close your eyes. Just, don't close your eyes if you can't. I want you to close your eyes and take in a couple of deep breaths. Imagine that you're breathing in a cool, calm, blue or green energy, and that you're breathing out any tension in your body, represented as the color red. And then in your imagination, in your memory, I want you to go back to a moment in time where you felt really relaxed. I want you to step into that moment and notice how relaxed you feel. Imagine and pretend as though you are really there. Noticing how your body and your mind instantly responds to that, and you feel instantly more relaxed and more at peace. Then I want you to imagine that you've got a dial on that sensation, and you can turn it up a little bit so that you feel even more relaxed, even more peaceful. Good. And now I want you to imagine that you're relaxing in a beautiful place, sitting down or lying down in a magical, magical place. You may like to choose a place you have visited before, or a place that you have visited before in your imagination. It doesn't really matter. Simply imagining that you're lying or sitting down, feeling really relaxed. And as you sit or lie down, I want you to focus your attention on the two sides of your brain, running from the temples to the back of your head. And I want you to imagine that you're cooling these two areas of the brain down now, cooling them all the way down, doing it whatever it is that you need to do with your creative mind to cool those two areas of the brain down now. You may like to use the beautiful ocean or a gorgeous color blue. Simply imagining and pretending that you're cooling those two areas of the brain down now. And as you do this, you notice your whole nervous system readjusting, recalibrating. Good. Beautiful work. And from this place, I want you to imagine and pretend that you can see your launch going exactly to plan. Notice how you're feeling about your launch, how you're thinking about your launch, how you're behaving in your launch. See yourself hitting all those small milestones, going all the way through to the end when you hit your big goal, your launch goal. Notice how good it feels, how aligned you feel, anchoring it all in. It's like your subconscious mind is a sponge and you are setting the instructions for it to follow. Good. Really allowing yourself to dream and visualize and be. And then feeling that beautiful vision, locking everything in place, anchoring it into every cell in your body. Beautiful work. Coming all the way back to me now by opening your eyes, taking your time. Good. Beautiful work. Well done. So I'd love to hear how you found that. Feel free to write in the comments. And then we're going to go on to the next one. So the next one is a meaning brainstorm. And so in order to feel a certain way, to feel some sort of emotion, we have made some sort of scenario, whatever is happening around us, mean something. So if we simply ask, what am I making this mean? This can really bring us back out of that big emotional response that we have had to whatever scenario is going on around us. So let me give you an example. My whole relationship, I've always said to my husband, I would really love it if you got me flowers for my birthday or Mother's Day. And lo and behold, what do you think happened? Every Mother's Day, not everyone, but most Mother's Day, most birthdays, no flowers, right? And internally, whether I acted on it or not, I would go straight to rage. And so if I ask myself now that I know this technique, what was I making that mean? I was making that mean when he didn't turn up with the flowers, that he didn't love me. Like in my brain, it was black and white. No flowers, he knew what to do. I was making it mean he didn't love me. And so by asking the question, what am I making this mean? And what else could I make this mean? It very quickly brings me out of that big, powerful emotional response. And so it brings us out of that big, powerful emotional response. And then let me give you, and then I can ask the question, what else am I making this mean? So what else could I make this mean? I could make it mean that he forgot, that he was being lazy, that he was being stressed. Maybe he was sick. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he was just being a dick. But all of those things are much less full on than he doesn't love me. And so it really tones that emotional response. And the key is that you don't need to believe the other meanings that you've brainstormed. You just need to come up with some other meanings, and that will very quickly pull you out of that emotional response. So if we look at a launch scenario, I've had this lady who was 3 days short of cart close. She hadn't sold anything in her launch yet. She felt terrible, miserable. She was totally ready to give up. And so then we went through and we were saying, what was she making it mean? She was making it mean that it wasn't going to work, that she was not good enough. What else could she make it mean? She could make it mean that everybody is getting excited to buy. So you can have this beautiful image of like, they're all talking to their friends. They're all messaging each other. They're messaging other people that have worked with you before. They're all getting ready to buy. She could make it mean, I've been warming all of these beautiful warm leads up. They're all getting ready to buy. This is so exciting. And yeah, basically that's the scenario for that. And instantly it gives a completely different vibe, and you're able to step into a really resourceful space so that you can then be active in your launch from that place. So now, before we move on, I just want you to go back to a time in your imagination, in your memory, where you felt really overwhelmed. I want you to just think of a time, a moment in time when you felt overwhelmed. It could be anything at all, doesn't need to be business, can be anything in life at all. And then I want you to go ahead and ask yourself, what was I making it mean? It might feel difficult at first, but if you were to know, What were you making it mean? Beautiful work. What else could you make it mean? You don't need to believe the other scenarios. Simply brainstorming, what else could you make it mean? Good. Even if you didn't get the whole way there, simply asking yourself, what am I making this mean, will be enough. So that's another really cool one that you can practice. The next one is called the negative thought diffuser. And so in order to feel something, we're responding to internal or external stimuli, something we've seen, something we've heard, something we've touched, something we've tasted, something we've smelt. And this could be in real life, or this could be in our imagination. So it could be that we've brought up an image that used to scare us, or still scares us. We're thinking different thoughts in our mind. So with regards to negative thinking or worry or ruminating or whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. We get into this brain patterning thing. And so what we need to do is we need to jump off that neural pathway onto a different one so that it's like a pattern interrupt. And once we know that it's a brain pattern and that we are actually responding to something, all we have to do is change the way we are doing it. And we don't even need to do it perfectly. It's like we step off onto that new neural pathway. So if it is safe to do so, I would love for you to close your eyes. And I want you to think back to a time when you felt really worried. And I just want you to get a sense of those thoughts there, what you were worrying about. You don't need to get a perfect, exact representation of what you were thinking, just a sense of what you were thinking. And then I want you to imagine and pretend that you know where those thoughts are coming from in your brain. And I want you to go ahead and point to the part of your brain that those thoughts are coming from. Just go ahead and point to the part of your brain that those thoughts are coming from. Just pretend that you know. Good. Beautiful work. And so now I want you to imagine and pretend that you can turn those thoughts down. You've got a dial that is in charge of volume, and you can go ahead and turn those thoughts down, turn the volume down on those thoughts. And then I want you to go ahead and ask yourself, what do you notice now? Good. And so now in your imagination, I want you to pick up those thoughts and move them to a different part of your brain. Just pretend that you can. Go ahead and pick them up and move them to a different part of your brain. Somewhere that feels good. Good. And what do you notice now? Good. And then when you're ready, you can come back to me and open your eyes. So the biggest feedback that I get with this particular exercise is that it's almost like people feel nothing. It diffuses that big negative emotion response to the thoughts that we were having. And they kind of feel like, people have even said they feel empty, but not in a bad way, just in a like, it's not there anymore way. So that is a very cool technique that we can use, but we have to remember to use it. Okay, cool. So the next one, I've got 2 more techniques for you. The next one is the emotional release window. So I think I mentioned before, people come to me and they want to feel like their business is easy and it's fun and they feel confident. But what they're actually doing is they are waiting for their business to make them feel this way. So what if I told you that you could release the emotion that you were currently feeling and then practice stepping into a new emotion? And so this particular technique is for the first part of this scenario, where we're releasing an emotion that we feel. And so it could be frustrated, it could be worried, it could be overwhelmed, it could be nervous, it could be anxious, it could be absolutely anything. Sadness, doesn't really matter. So I just want you to go back to a time. In this scenario, we'll do overwhelmed, but if you want to do something different, just pick that emotion and go back to a time when you felt like that, just a recent time. It can be a small experience or a big experience. We're going to go back to a time when we felt really overwhelmed. Thinking back to a time when we felt really overwhelmed. And I want you to rate how overwhelmed you feel, pretending as though you're back in that moment now. How overwhelmed do you feel out of 10? And give it a rating. And then I want you to check in and notice, where do you feel it in your body? Which part of your body do you feel it in? Is it in your head, your throat, your chest, your tummy, your legs, your arms? Doesn't really matter. Wherever you feel it, I want you to just notice where you feel it. And then in your imagination, I want you to pretend and imagine that you've got a big window or door, and you're popping that over the top of that sensation in your body. I want you to give the sensation a color. If it were to be a color, what color would it be? And I want you to open that big window or door up nice and wide and really allow that sensation to start leaving your body now. Give it permission to leave your body now, without any expectations or judgment that it needs to leave completely. Simply imagining and pretending that you can see it start to leave your body now. Some people like to imagine it as though it's helium balloons or smoke or goo or ooze. You just do whatever works for you. Simply imagining and pretending that you can see that color leaving your body now. Good. Beautiful work. And so now I want you to go ahead and notice, what would you rate it out of 10 now? Has it dropped? And most of the time, so then you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. Most of the time with this one, people can often very quickly come from like an 8 down to a 2. But it doesn't matter if you go from like a 6 to a 5 or what have you. This just gives you something to do in order to release the emotion, something in your imagination to do, and it really does work. Okay, so the last very exciting technique that I want to teach you is an anchor. You probably will have heard of anchoring. It's an NLP technique. And today we're going to use courage, because I think that courage is the single coolest thing that you can use in your business to really drive you forward in your business growth. So if it is safe to do so, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine a future version of yourself who is even more courageous. Even more courageous. Notice what she is wearing, what she looks like, what her posture is like. Notice what she's thinking to herself. Notice what type of energy she has. What are her facial expressions? What earrings is she wearing? What dress is she wearing? What outfit is she wearing? Good. And when you've made that vision, that image beautiful and strong, I want you to go ahead and in your imagination, I want you to walk up to her and step into her like you're trying on a wetsuit. Just pretend that you can. And as you do this, you notice how your energy changes. You instantly feel more courageous. Notice how you're thinking to yourself. Things like, I can, I believe in myself, I can do anything. It doesn't even matter what the outcome is. And then I want you to ask your subconscious brain to really anchor this beautiful sensation in, looking down at your feet as you're doing this. I want you to notice a big, beautiful colored disc below you. Notice what color the disc is. Feel the energy of that disc. Beautiful work, and it is done. So you can go ahead and use this one in your future, imagining yourself stepping onto your beautiful, courageous disc. And like, this one is so powerful. It's been used to like help people over stage fright and all different things. Amazing. So now that I've taught you some of the techniques that I can use, of super quick ones, I want us to think a little bit about accountability. So person or plan to keep you on task. Could it be your strategist? Could it be a mindset coach? Could it be a biz bestie, a buddy? How can you keep yourself accountable to keep you on task? At the moment, me and one of my colleagues check in weekly, and that has been so good. Plus I have a mindset coach and a strategist, and that has just worked wonders for me. So it's really setting up that support. So in summary, my mindset formula for launching is we need that clear and connected vision. And so part of that comes from setting your goals and get really specific about what you're going for. But then we also use a technique, priming your day, so that you feel really connected, you calming your nervous system, and then you feel really connected to that vision at the end. And you're doing that each and every day. Then you've got making sure that you've got that easy and simple launch plan that's easy to follow. You're doing your daily mindset activities, and you've got your accountability to keep you on track, either by a system or by a person. So now I just want you to go ahead and ask yourself, what is your plan from here? What will you do to help you develop that launch plan? Do you need to sit down and schedule some time to go through this again and really come up with your own launch plan? Do you need to hire someone to help you do it? How will you develop that launch plan? When are you going to do it? What can you do to simplify your launch plan? What can you take out? What isn't necessary? How can you really hone in and make sure that you are sticking to your priorities, the things that are going to make the difference in your launch? What will you do to make space for your launch? So we spoke about this before. What can you put aside in order to make your launch feel really easy and spacious? And what will you do to ensure you are focused on the actions that will make the biggest impact? Which of the 5-minute activities resonated the most? Was it priming your day? Was it the meaning brainstorm? Was it negative thought diffuser, the emotional release window, or the anchor of courage? Or do you have others? Can you block out 5 minutes in your day during your launch to pick one of these to do? And you can just kind of work out which one it is on the day. And how will you create that external accountability for yourself via a plan or a system? So now I just wanted to go through the magic edge, working intensively with a practitioner. When you're working intensively with a practitioner, it's like you get to hand over your mindset to somebody else. You no longer need to worry about what your next limiting belief is or anything. You just get to focus on what you're going for. So we dig into the deep subconscious stuff which we normally resist or can't see when we go it alone. Your brain is keeping you safe. So we are also giving your brain a new set of instructions on how to feel, think, and behave when you're in launch mode. So previously, maybe your Facebook reach statistics were slightly triggering to you, or someone who commented quite negatively on one of your posts, we can actually give your brain a new set of instructions on how to respond to all those little things that come up during launches. We use brain training tools that are proven to work so that you can deal with any mindset wobbles in the moment and really learn to trust yourself. We also give you that external accountability so that you have a consistent mindset practice that actually works. And during the process, we will transition you to that internal accountability of doing your own mindset work. We also get really clear on your vision and your ability to connect with it so that you're expanding your belief of what is possible for you, so that you gain incredible momentum in totally optimizing your mindset and therefore revolutionizing your results. And we have seen this time and time again. If we don't work on your nervous system, your limbic brain, in conjunction with expanding your vision will most likely be the cause of a stress response in your brain, causing you to self-sabotage. So this is some feedback that I've had from people working with me. Someone said I had been running this launch over and over in my head, and now I just have it. I just nailed my entire launch plan and the 500K is back on the table. Oh yeah, I'm so pumped. I actually believe I can do this now. Another person wrote to me, these are like the messages that I just get. I just talked about money on the internet. I just wanted to say I highly effing value what you do. I think you are incredible. I've gotten on multiple calls with you and there have been multiple nights where I've actually slept now. This is unheard of for me. So it can also be that you're like having a problem with sleep or some sort of relationship problem. We cover everything because I believe that you are your business, and if something is tripping you up in your personal life, then we need to get it sorted. Somebody else wrote, you are the reason I made 12K last week. Yeah, my business coach helped me, but he doesn't have the ability to get me into state like you do. You helped me shift my mindset, which is your specialty. You have massively helped me make more money. And then the last one is simply incredible, total game changer. I saw a post the other day where someone wrote, thank God for those effing audios. And I feel the same. Our sessions have been amazing, and to continue the magic and really anchor it all in takes me and my business to an entirely new level. So if you've got any questions, I'd love for you to post them in the group chat. Otherwise, I just wanted to go through how you can work with me. So if you want me to hold your hand and take you through this, I am launching right now my Ladies Who Launch Mindset Mastery, and I'm so excited. This is like my passion project. It's everything I've been working towards. When I first trained as a hypnotherapist, I imagined that I would have an online course. I love the vibe of a group. I already have some beautiful people who are interested in this program, and it just makes me so excited. I cannot tell you how excited I am. So it's a 3-month group program where you really get to optimize your mindset and experience what it is like to feel like business is easy, fun, and spacious, because we practice the techniques that we have gone through today, plus we do much more intensive stuff to optimize your mindset. You'll experience significantly increased income. So over the 3 months, each month there'll be a core training module, one on pre-launch mindset, one on during launch mindset, and one on post-launch mindset. So it'll be a beautiful, repeatable process that you can work through again after the live round. There'll be a monthly live hypnosis, EFT tapping, and Q&A call, all separate calls during the live round. There'll also be a library of hypnosis audio specifically to launch and business. So this is super exciting. There's going to be pre-launch mindset audios. There's going to be not good enough audios. There's going to be before you get on a sales call audios, so many different audios, hypnosis audios, and there's going to be, I don't think I put that in there, but there's also going to be specific emotional freedom technique tapping instruction videos for you to go along with in that library as well. You'll get lifetime access to the materials and live rounds for as long as the course exists. And so if you get it in January, it's $797 Australian. And then on the 1st of February, the price goes up to $997 Australian. So the first 10 people to book will get a customized hypnosis audio to listen to daily. So they'll get a 1-hour session with me where we will record a customized hypnosis audio for you to listen to daily. And that will even further strengthen what you get out of the program. So if you are interested in booking your spot or booking in a free chat to see if it's the right fit for you, all you need to do is email info@antheacutler.com. We can have a conversation there on email, or you can simply book your spot, or we can tee up a free chat if you are interested. So I'm so excited, and thank you so much for being here. I've had such a crazy month, but my mindset has absolutely supported me through this time. It started off with my husband being at fires. Then my daughter was booked into daycare, but the days got changed 2 times. And so she didn't attend. One was my fault, one was their fault. So I had to have an extra week off. Then we got robbed on last Friday, but I just feel so thankful that my mindset has supported me through this time. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of my community. I hope you loved this, and I'll love you and leave you. Bye-bye.